How are you? I know I'm coming on a couple of minutes early, but I don't want to keep the rest of my crew waiting too long. But I did want to pop on here since we're on the ground and do at least a little bit of coffee talk, just to let you know what my situation is today. So we had elected that we were going to go flying and survey damage from Hurricane Idalia, of course. So we took off from the station at about 4:20, 4:15 or so this morning, and the idea was to come to you live from Cedar Key at about 6 o'clock, 6:30 this morning. Problem is, we were so far outside of the kind of the WESH coverage area that we struggled. We either could get a video signal back or we couldn't get a signal where I could hear in my earpiece what was going on at the station. So what we're going to do is, so what we ended up doing is kind of flying, surveying as the sun was coming up this morning. And then we landed here, of all places, because fuel was available at the time, we landed here in Tallahassee. So landed in Tallahassee, and we're going to take fuel up Chopper 2, and then start flying back toward the area of damage, tape a bunch of stuff, and have that on the newscasts tonight on WESH 2 News. So yes, we're on just a little bit early, but again, I just wanted to let you know as to why. So we're going to go take the helicopter off in just a couple of minutes again. So there's that, okay? All right, that said, let's get right to what's going on in Central Florida. I mean, look at how beautiful it is. And I could just tell you, it was a beautiful liftoff from Orlando. It was an absolutely incredible sunrise over the Gulf of Mexico. It is a beautiful morning, a mix of clouds and sunshine this morning on our imagery. Let's take a look at first warning Doppler radar. And well, yeah, look at that. We're gonna have some showers to fly back through. Take a look. Let me loop this. You kind of see those showers moving on in. We'll zoom into the metro. A little bit of rain coming on through, nothing too bad. Some heavier stuff down here around Polk County, and then back over toward, say, Spring Hill, Bayonet Point, and Pine Ridge, a little bit of heavy rainfall there. So definitely some pretty decent rains around, some showers around. Nothing too bad, nothing too strong. Certainly compared to where we've been these last couple of days, it's been some rough weather across Central Florida. I don't think that anybody can argue that point. But thankfully, things are quieting down. We're getting back to normal, and that's a good thing. Forecast today brings our temperatures up. It's going to be a nice and warm forecast, right? It's 86 degrees at 11 o'clock. Then we'll get into some thunderstorms this afternoon, about 92 degrees our high temperature, and working up to a 50% coverage of showers and thunder showers. So there you go, a little bit of stormy weather around. And of course, we can take a look at that forecast for you to time out the rains using our Futurecast model, which I think did a really well, really a really good job with what was going on with the hurricane, right? So let's just take a look and see where we're at, okay? If I can find the button. I definitely need some coffee. All right, here's Futurecast. So showing the rains around this morning, continuing through late morning, and then notice by about 1:30, 2 o'clock, a little bit of heavy stuff around, but there's 4, 5, 6 o'clock, some storms in the vicinity, 6, 6:30, 7, 8, kind of fading out little bit by little bit. So we are looking better, looking ahead to game time. And this is important. If you'd have told me that I was going to end up in Tallahassee today, I'd have been like, yeah, nah. But it just made sense for fueling purposes. But take a look. Forecasts tonight, a little bit of stormy weather for tailgating. But the game should be good. All I'm saying is I'll be ready for Section 213 tonight. I'm just saying, I'll be excited about that. A couple of showers here or there, moving away from the game. So that certainly is the good news. Yeah. All right. So that's good stuff. Janice, where am I? I am in Tallahassee. I've never been here before, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, just popped in here to get some fuel, and then we'll be on our way back out. Let's talk a little bit about the tropics. Again, it's going to be a fairly abbreviated version of Coffee Talk today, but just because we're fueling up Chopper 2, and then we'll be back up in the air. But this morning, have a new storm. Tropical Storm Jose. Look at that. Developed early today. You got Hurricane Franklin, Tropical Storm Idalia, and then another area that may try to develop off the coast of Africa. So good stuff. Lots going on in the tropics, but at least at the moment, we're going to be quieting things down just a little bit. Muggy meter putting us in the steamy category 100% makes sense. It's a little gross out there. It's not much better here in Tallahassee this morning either, if I may say so. So there's that. Now, for my fellow night fans, we've got an interesting little scenario. Could there be a rocket launch during a UCF football game? It's possible. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Getting better and better through the launch window, but there's a Starlink mission set up tonight. Looks good. Forecast looks good for that one as well. Do the long range models show anything else coming our way? So let's do this. Let me dial that up. Haven't looked at this morning because I was at the station and jumped in the helicopter. Zero dark early. But let me widen this out to the basin view. This is the American GFS model. Of course, there's Jose, there's Franklin, there's Idalia. Working through time. I need a sip of this. This is caffeinated. My protein drink is caffeinated, and I so need that. What is happening? They're all three like going to suck up into each other and just become this sheared out low? That's hilarious. Let's just look at that again. Like, meteorologically speaking, that's something you don't see every day. Weird. All right, keep going. That's doing that. Maybe something trying to develop there in the main development region. Maybe that tries to recurve. And that's all she wrote for the GFS. Let's switch over. Let's look at the European. If I can hit that button. All right, European. There's that. It's still early, so the European is still just starting to run. 60 at least, so we'll go back to the 00Z. Something developing in the main development region. I think I know what that one is. Well, interesting. Is that the Nicole recycle? Kind of times out that way, doesn't it? So there you go. At least at the moment, can those storms join forces? No, it doesn't. It does not work that way. The stronger one would shear the weaker one apart. Yeah, thank God. Cindy, why is the Euro different? Different model. Different model looks at different things. So yeah. But for now, we need to just take a couple of minutes and we need to reset. We need to take a couple of minutes and know that there is nothing big and powerful coming and threatening us. Okay, Janice, thank you for all the help keeping us informed. Thank you for trusting myself and the WESH 2 News team. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I promise you I will always fight to continue to earn your trust and your respect. And I'm sure that I speak for everybody on the team. And I know Manolfi is 100% the exact same way. 100%. Yeah. Joanna says you need rest. It's funny. I was just talking to my wife and she's just like, I'm exhausted. And my response to her was, I am too. I mean, I am exhausted. I've got a slamming headache, but this is the time that my personal needs come second. You know, when there's hurricanes, my job is worth working hard for it. And my wife supports that. She understands that. So that's what we do, you know? So yeah, there it is. Deborah's asking rain for the UCF game. Yeah, I just talked about it. I think for tailgating, it might be a couple of showers, but I'll be there with my Columbia shirt, ready to sweat and whatever else. So Joseph said, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Frank, thank you very much. Troll free zone here. Oh yeah, well, trolls are going to troll, but we're just going to do our thing. Becky, you're my favorite. Thank you. I appreciate it, Becky. Kelly, Eric doesn't know how to sleep. I'm convinced. I know how to do it, and I'll get. Listen, I think I'm off. I'm supposed to be off work today, but here I am in Tallahassee on Chopper 2. If I'm off tomorrow, I'm going to sleep and do nothing all day. Period. So there's that. Thank you, Nathaniel. Hector, thank you, thank you, thank you. Heather, thank you for your tornado coverage. Helped us in Wedgefield a lot. Boy, Heather, for a couple of moments, it got a little squirrely by you, but always there. I swear to you, it's more than a job for us. And that speaks volumes to the kind of team that we have around. Kristen, go Knights, charge on. I'll be wearing my gear later on for sure. Thank you, Ashley. Joy, we always rely on you and your weather and your news. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so let's just take a look. So here we are for today. 50% coverage of showers and storms. Tomorrow, 60% coverage of showers and storms. And then for the weekend, kind of high pressure to drying us out a little bit. Could Labor Day look beautiful? I actually think I'm off Labor Day. I have to check my schedule. I think I'm off Labor Day. I'd like that. Donnie, you're the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tony says that was a big letdown. I was in the mood for a big one in Dunellen. I was not. I don't want a big one anywhere. And the one thing, so we flew up the shoreline and we saw it was dark. So I know we missed a bunch of stuff. But we flew up, getting to Tallahassee to fuel up. And the one thing that I was struck by, I've never flown this, but I've never really flown past Ocala to look around, at least, so I would say that the one thing that struck me is I knew that it was the Nature Coast for a reason, right? But it's very, very, very remote. And so we're going to kind of go town by town by town and look around and see. And that's what we're going to be reporting on for West 2 News later on tonight. But I'm not let down by any of that. My concern was that it would have gone a little to the right. Thank goodness it kind of, the Hurricane Center did an incredible job with their forecast, but you have to watch and see because some of those wobbles could take on something. And so it's just making sure that it didn't do that. And that was my biggest concern. I'm so grateful it didn't. But for the people impacted, we saw some damage and it was dark as heck. So once the sun comes up now, of course, we're going to have a much better perspective to see things, Mike's asking, did Idalia go through the start of an eye wall replacement cycle just before landfall, causing it to weaken a little bit before landfall? Yes. And I would think that that was a perfectly timed deal for the residents that were impacted. But there was destruction. If it had hit a heavily populated area, then it would have been a much more difficult scenario. So we're going to find and bring you back the images. I saw one, there's like a dirt road that you could actually watch the storm surge flowing back out to the Gulf of Mexico. And that was we were doing like 100 knots and it was like, hey, look at that. And we like slowed her down. We slowed her down and I had to kind of just circle it for a second and be like, look at that, So it was definitely a scene to be had. Danelle is very glad we had power and no damage considering how close Perry is to us. We overflew Perry, did see some isolated damage, but again, it was at night, and the problem is that areas with no power, there was no way for us to see anything. So we're going to go back through there now that the day has broken and go and see what's doing. So that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to pop in real quick, update you. We're going to go take off. I'm sure that we're just about done fueling. So we'll go take off and do our thing. Sound good? Yeah? All right. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you all for trusting us through the storm. We'll be with you, I swear, earning your respect and earning your trust every single time we threaten. All right? All right. Be the sunshine. I'll see you on West 2 News tonight from Chopper 2, talking more about the damage.